Adam, what have your powers ever given to you? Nothing but heartache.
I was a slave until I died. Then I was reborn a god. My son sacrificed his life to save me. Open fire! War going. Now, I kneel before no one.
War going on outside when you ain't safe from.
In this world, there are heroes.
I feel the pain in my city wherever I go.
And there are villains. Heroes don't kill people.
Well, I do.
My vision has shown me the future. You have two choices. You can be the destroyer of this world, or you can be its savior. That's up to you.
Behind you! Did he just catch a rocket?
He got a rocket.
All black everything. You know my fresh coat.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining us here with Get Into It with Taz and Chris.
Hello, everybody.
So,
Just a heads up, I'm having the same technical difficulties as last week. None of the videos are playing.
well, that was the Black Adam trailer.
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
what's going on.
Can you see the graphic?
Yeah.
Okay. So we know the January 6th hearings start tomorrow. This is the tentative schedule. For whoever caught the catch-up pre-recorded broadcast that was posted a few hours ago, there was a little bombshell. Former very high-up staffers from the Trump administration have admitted what we already presumably knew, that they had to talk Trump down off of a ledge. There were plans before. They were getting advisement from attorneys as to how to overthrow and just not certify the 2020 election. But as promised, I did infiltrate Truth Social for y'all. And this
Ooh, look at that. It's ultra.
is the stuff that I found. I mean,
Look how they said now we've gone, like I said, I think just the fact that they've gone to ultra MAGA is, they don't even need ultra. They already are ultra.
oh yeah, but it gets progressively worse.
Yeah. They so misuse the word patriot.
It's time I circle back.
Instead of truth, how about just name it treason?
And this is from Trump Jr. I'm trying to figure out why 6-year-olds are responsible enough to be able to cut off their reproductive organs and change their sex, but 18-year-olds are not responsible enough to buy firearms. Any thoughts? You all, no children, no one under the age of 18 can have transitioning surgery. They cannot transition. They can take hormone blockers, but yeah, and I'm sorry, an 18-year-old is not responsible enough to own a firearm. That's why even the military, when you're on base, if you have weapons, they secure them for you. because they know the pressure that you're on, and they know that your medulla oblongata is not fully formed at 18.
But
Like I
we're
said,
going to make it harder for you to get a pack of cigarettes than it is to get a gun.
yeah. Schools need to confront bad behavior quickly. No law can cure the effects of a broken home. This is what Sean Hannity had to say about mass shootings. And then this, Eric Trump, guns should not be in the hands of the mentally unstable, says senile man with nukes. The senile man with nukes was your daddy, Eric, but okay.
Wow.
Clearly, we need to make it far easier to confine the violent and mentally deranged into mental institutions, Trump said in a speech at a convention in Houston of the National Rifle Association, a gun rights advocacy group. But let us not forget, dear Republicans, the man you tout as one of the greatest presidents ever was Ronald Reagan. And the reason why we don't have as many mental institutions, aka asylums, is that he shut them and increased our homeless population. Did y'all forget about that? Oh, and here's a doozy. Mr. President, please save our country. You know, from the mess you created.
They like Turkey more than they do the U.S.
Mhm.
They've taken their conferences to a foreign land where an autocrat leads.
Okay.
So yeah, they're such patriots. It's the site looks like QAnon.
It pretty much runs that way. It took me a while to learn how to navigate it, and getting to comment sections is difficult because every time you try to hit for comments, regardless of the device that I was on, it takes you to where you need to post instead of letting you read the comments. And I will say, Donnie Jr. is not very well liked over there. Like, they really don't like him.
Really?
It's weird.
Don the Red-Eyed Jr.?
Yes, and they're not doing a very good vetting process because there are some people who kind of snuck their way in like I did, but they've outed themselves, but they haven't been kicked off the app, which they can be kicked off the app. This is legitimately a Trump family app. And they are just handing out L's left and right. The most people are doing is it like they'll block them from something, but blocking doesn't seem to really work because you can still pop up and not create another account. Because creating another account, you go back on the waiting list and it could be months before you get in. Whoever is handling this, it can't be a very knowledgeable team.
Yeah, I don't think it's Ivanka and Jerry.
Yeah, like they cannot handle the traffic whatsoever. It's quite buggy.
Maybe Kellyanne set it up.
I don't know, but from a professional standpoint, I literally have to woosah, get a cup of tea, and realize this is not your assignment. Just go with the flow, like a regular person on this app, because there's some things that, it's like nails to a chalkboard for me seeing it.
Yeah.
And I know you know what that means. Like when it's your field and you see it going horribly wrong,
right?
You want to fix it, but then you're like, I really don't want to fix it for these people. Like they're on the wrong side.
You don't want it fixed because they're broken. You can't fix broken. I did catch Senator Warren on Readout. She had some good stuff there. I know you like Senator Warren.
I love Senator Warren.
Mm-hmm.
Senator Warren is my bestie in my head. We just need to let Senator Warren know this so we can get together at brunch.
She knows you're leader of the fan club. Get her some graphic tees. She needs.
Wouldn't that be something if she popped up on the congressional floor in a graphic tee?
We need to bring her in on our panel.
I would die. Let's get this party started with an update on Brittany Griner. Coming from ABC News, Brittany Griner answering WNBA players' emails. Brittany Griner can't play with her NBA colleagues. She can't call them either, but she can write. In one small bit of normalcy, Griner has been able to receive emails and letters from WNBA players during her detainment in Russia. Hundreds of emails have been sent by players to an account Griner's agent set up to allow them to communicate with her. It's not easy. The emails are printed out and delivered sporadically in bunches to Griner by her lawyer after they are vetted by Russian officials. Griner doesn't have access to the email account. She'll either write a response on paper and her lawyers will take a photo of it, or she'll dictate a response if she doesn't have any paper. Los Angeles Sparks forward Amanda Zawubi never thought she'd hear back from Griner when she sent an email to the Phoenix Mercury Center a few months ago. When she responded to my second letter, it blew me away, Zawubi said. I was like, she responded. In my third letter, I was like, hey, best friend, we are officially best friends now. Like so many WNBA players, she wanted Griner to know that she was thinking about her as the two-time Olympic gold medalist remains in the view of U.S. officials wrongfully detained in Russia. So at least we know she's alive.
At least we know that some things are getting past the KGB.
Well, we know she's alive because that was a great concern for a lot of people. I noticed on different message boards and different threads all over the internet because I have been trying to get some information. This is like I understand they're keeping it close to the chest. There's security measures involved. Right. Like we discussed 2 weeks ago, they are trying to finagle a prisoner trade, and who they would be trading her for is detrimental to the world, not just one particular place. But trying to get information is virtually impossible. And given the history of Russia and what Russia has going on right now, it's terrifying because if the Ukraine continues to push back, there's a possibility of border breaches, which puts her directly in the crossfire and nowhere to take shelter.
Right.
And that is something we do have to consider. Now, for the topic everybody has been waiting for. We have
Obi-Wan?
We have 2 videos and 2 articles, and yes, Obi-Wan. Wait a minute, I just realized you have on your Bob Marley t-shirt. I should have ran upstairs and got mine. One day we're going to get this coordinated right.
I know. Whether it's Stranger Things, Star Wars, something we got to coordinate.
Yeah. But we've got 2 videos.
Oh, darn. I'll miss out. Fill me in. I'll be filled in afterwards.
Well, do you have another device?
Yeah, my laptop's at work.
Oh, what are you on now? Your phone?
I don't know. iPad.
Okay.
I use my iPad.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm going to send you the link to the YouTube feed. So when we drop out of here, you can pull that up on your phone to see the videos. That'll be a quick fix. Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
This weekend, Star Wars fans made Obi-Wan Kenobi the most watched Disney Plus original series premiere of all time. And for that, I would say a big thank you. And it just goes to show what this family can do when we all pull together. However, it seems that some of the fan base from this influential fan base have decided to attack Moses Ingram online and send her the most horrendous racist DMs. And I heard some of them this morning and it just broke my heart. Moses is a brilliant actor. She's a brilliant woman. And she's absolutely amazing in this series. She brings so much to the series. She brings so much to the franchise. And it just sickened me to my stomach to hear that this had been happening. I just want to say, as the leading actor in the series, as the executive producer on the series, that we stand with Moses. We love Moses. And if you're sending her bullying messages, you're no Star Wars fan in my mind. There's no place for racism in this world. And I totally stand with Moses.
And coming from uprocks.com, as we saw, Ewan McGregor came for those attacking Obi-Wan Kenobi actress Moses Ingram with racist messages. You are no Star Wars fan in my mind. Even before the show aired, Lucasfilm warned Obi-Wan Kenobi actress Moses Ingram that she may be the victim of racism from the worst corners of the Star Wars fan base. Sure enough, she was. After the spinoff premiered over the holiday weekend, Ingram was, like John Boyega and Kelly Marie Tran before them, pelted with bigoted online attacks. On Tuesday, the Star Wars team formally stood by her, and later that day, so did star executive producer Ewan McGregor, as you just saw. And
Yes. Good.
one more article coming from CNN.com. Star Wars calls out racism after attacks on Moses Ingram. The Star Wars franchise is sticking up for actor Moses Ingram after she revealed she had received hundreds of racist messages and comments on social media. The franchise tweeted that it was proud to welcome Ingram, who had just made her debut as Reva in the Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi. If anyone intends to make her feel in any way unwelcome, we have only one thing to say. We resist, the Star Wars account tweeted. There are more than 20 million sentient species in the Star Wars galaxy. Don't choose to be racist. Series lead Ewan McGregor also voiced his thoughts while praising Ingram as a brilliant actor in a video posted to the Star Wars Twitter account late Tuesday evening. In the first video clip that I showed you, there are a ton of videos like this where they go back to Billy D. Williams' character in Star Wars. And they're like, oh, well, this wasn't going on in 1984. Guess what didn't exist in 1984? The internet.
Right.
We do have an idea of what Billy D. Williams went through. He has given interviews saying the racism he ensued from the fan base, the letters that were sent to him. It's just now we get to see it in virtual real time because people can just pick up their phone, pick up a tablet, an iPad, their computers, and just spew hate and racism from every angle. So stop this because you're ignoring Boyega, Tran, and other people. And how can you call yourselves a Star Wars fan when the basis of the premise of the plot of Star Wars is defeating oppression?
Yes. And there's like every species you can think of out there that you cheer for, whether it's Akbar, whether it's Greedo, whether it's whoever's in there. But oh my God, you're going to put somebody in a lead role that, oh my God, it's human. I mean, come on. I mean, you are not a Star Wars fan.
At all.
If you're going to have an issue, and then you hear them talk about, and I've seen this in some of the comments. Oh no, it's the writing. They just write bad for her. They wrote bad for her. Oh come on. Now you're sounding like Ultra MAGA.
And what gets me, because being an uber comic book and sci-fi nerd that I am, like right now there's huge controversies going on in the anime community because of voiceover actors that happen to be Black that have been hired for English translations. They're not changing the ethnicity of these fictional characters, but they're fictional characters. What I don't get about the racism within the Star Wars fandom, there's always been people of color in the Star Wars franchise. It's not like it started off all white and then they tried to sprinkle people in. From the beginning, there have been people of color. The BIPOC community has been represented in Star Wars. It's one of the few films. It's one of the
from
few
day one. From New Hope, before it was New Hope. The X-Wing fighters, the Rebel fighters, if you forget. One of the fighters that went into the Death Star. What are we talking about, people? Look at history. If you had problem now.
Yeah, I'm like, this franchise has been diverse. Like, what were y'all looking at in the early days? What were y'all just literally sitting? You know what? as I say this out loud, I know what it is.
They weren't original fans.
It wasn't that. In the 80s, they looked at Billy D. Williams as the acceptable Negro. He was peddling malt liquor. He was the gigolo, the stereotypical comfortable black man on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had people that they did not have that comfort with come out of the woodwork. That's why so many people got upset when they saw a human being in Will Smith. He was no longer the acceptable, comfortable Negro.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. See, John Boyega is a fervent activist. So, of course, no, they don't want that. But it's like, look at the premise of Star Wars.
Right.
He lives the embodiment of the franchise.
Right. They like you said, this is what they were fighting in the movie. This is the premise. Like, you're not a Star Wars fan if you don't get it.
It's like adding me to a cooking show and then getting mad because I can cook and I'm black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, did you want me to come on here and burn water? What did you
what's she doing cooking Caribbean food?
Well, that's a conversation for a whole nother day, because there have been people who have gotten upset, who have
because they remember when they were colonized by something.
And there are people who've literally invited themselves to dinner at my house, and I'm like, well, fine, you can come, and then gotten upset because of the cuisine. What did you expect here?
Right. Yeah.
Porridge and toast? Like what?
Bangers and mash.
No. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Let me close some of these tabs so I don't lose track. Okay, we already talked about this.
But yeah,
Okay.
frankly, I know both of us think she's doing a great job. I'm happy. I'm thrilled that each of these series that are coming out, we are seeing more diversity. They're not shying away from it because they shouldn't, because that would kind of defeat the purpose, and people are trying to defeat the purpose. So I'm happy she's there. I think she's doing a fine job. I think I'm happy for the series. I just watch it as a fan. For me to dissect it and have a problem means I'm not a fan. So
Exactly. Well, next up, coming from LarryBrownSports.com, ex-NFL star gets a big insurance settlement years after serious injury. Jay Ajayi was once considered one of the best young running backs in football, but his career fizzled out after he tore his ACL in 2018. The former Miami Dolphins star has been trying for years to collect an insurance policy related to the injury, and he finally succeeded. His business manager told NFL Media's Ian Rappaport on Tuesday that he has received a $5 million loss of value insurance settlement. And y'all, the NFL is like the heart, like the NFL, I truly believe, was patterned after pre-Christmas Eve Ebenezer Scrooge. Because there's rarely guaranteed money in the NFL. If you don't play, you don't get paid. If you get injured, you don't get paid. Like, they can screw you up.
But if you got 24 accusers, guaranteed.
Yeah, we're coming to that one next.
Yes.
But I am glad that, because that's...
Yeah, I remember when he did disappear, and he did all right when he was healthy. I remember when he played.
No.
Unlike my team, which sooner or later, my team's going to get back into the news with our owner.
Sooner or later, your team is going to pick a real name.
I'm just waiting for a new owner. I want them to sell to a new owner.
That would be beneficial also.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now we've got some new protest in sports. We're going to run to the clip, and then we got an article to back it up.
Hi everybody, History Guy here. Just want to let you know that if you didn't support this, you can't really support that.
And he's not wrong. If you did not support the protest of Colin Kaepernick, I don't want to hear anything about this one. Coming from ESPN.com, protest by San Francisco's Gabe Kapler brings support from some fellow managers, but Chicago White Sox Tony La Russa differs. White Sox manager, excuse me, Tony La Russa says he both likes and respects San Francisco Giants manager Gabe Kapler, but disagrees with his form of protest as it relates to the latest mass shooting. Of course. Kapler wrote this week he'll remain inside the Giants clubhouse while the national anthem is being played before games. La Russa believes in the cause, just not Kapler's actions. Of course, but the whole point of a protest is to make you uncomfortable, not to make you comfortable. No change comes out of comfort, but I digress. I think he's exactly right to be concerned with what's happening in our country, La Russa says before his team hosted the Cubs on Saturday night. He's right there. Where I disagree is the flag and the anthem are not appropriate places to try to voice your objections. But weren't the flag and the anthem created for just this?
Well, you're not going to get hurt on the corner of the street. This is your platform. There is no other platform that could be loud enough.
And see, that's what gets me. It's like all of these people who want protests to fit their schedule, fit their comfort. That defeats the purpose of a protest. A protest is to make you uncomfortable in order to get your attention, in order to invoke change.
And it can be spontaneous, and it does not have to be violent. You can have different forms that are peaceful protests that are loud in its own way.
But I'm tired of this. Oh, it's a good point. It's a good cause. But they're doing it wrong because this makes me uncomfortable. No shit, Sherlock.
Or what's on Ultra would be BLM. You know, it's okay. What about your whole party? How about the whole GOP?
And I love how there's no outrage or call for him to be fired or blacklisted. And
it was Hunter Biden. Yeah, pulling that straw. That's why tomorrow I hope it's so entertaining.
Yeah, but also in sports, this one is coming from LarryBrownSports.com. Also, ex-All-Star pitcher receives 80-game suspension from Major League Baseball. A former All-Star pitcher is facing a more difficult road back to the MLB roster. Carlos Martinez has been suspended 80 games by MLB, the league announced Friday. Martinez was suspended because he tested positive for the banned substance ibutamorin. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I don't know what that is. Martinez, 30, pitched for the St. Louis Cardinals. I feel like I felt during the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial when they were.
I just wanted to get like an accent added into that, just to make it sound like it's from some country or something.
Like when they bring up these drugs, I'm like, I don't know what this is. I guess it's bad. I don't know.
Throw some patois into that.
So Martinez, 30, pitched for the St. Louis Cardinals from 2013 to 2021. He went 62 to 52 with a 3.74 ERA during the Cardinals' career, making the All-Star team in 2015 and 2017. Martinez has struggled the last two seasons. He went 0-3 with a 9.90 ERA in 2020 and 4-9 with a 6.23 ERA last season. The 6-foot pitcher missed time last season due to a thumb injury. Hey, so now you just taking drugs? Well, at least you didn't bet on the MLB, so they'll let you come back after 80 suspensions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, the NBA just makes you take a season off, Michael Jordan, and then you can come back after betting on your same sport. But the MLB just don't bet on them.
Sure.
So we do have a brand new.
Let's play for the Reds. Marge shot.
I was trying to hurry the ad before you could get. We do have a new ad, so we're going to run that. And then we're going to come back with all the juicy stuff from this week. See you in 2 and 2. Okay, so before we get into Mr. Watson, it would not be a Wednesday if we didn't have some interesting shenanigans regarding Marjorie Taylor Greene. So.
I thought you were going to say an urbane moment. Okay, that worked. I won't say the U word. Okay.
So you might want to
Margie. Big Marge.
Yeah, you might want to use the link that I gave you for this one because there's 2 clips back to back regarding her. She's got some she's got a new theory and a new intern.
I bet it comes from the Q. The Q sent it to her.
Oh yeah, definitely.
She's a loyalist. She's a loyal Q member.
She is. She's the president. Here we go. See you 2 and 2.
Nationalism is a good thing. It's where all Americans should be. We should be wanting America first. We should be wanting our tax dollars, our focus, our legislation, our bills, and our leadership focused on our nation. We should be proud of nationalism, and we should be proud of an America first nationalism. And then lastly, we should be most proud of Christianity. So if Christian nationalism is something to be scared of, they're lying to you. And they're lying to you on purpose because that is exactly the temperature change that is happening in America today.
Marjorie Taylor Greene just hired Milo Yiannopoulos, the same Marjorie Taylor Greene that says gay people are groomers. The same Milo who said that 13-year-olds should be able to be married because 13-year-old boys are mature enough. Y'all.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
Real quick, let us not forget Milo is the same person that would go to college campuses that did not want him there and spew such hatred and racism that it would turn your stomach. Now, years ago, the GOP did disavow and turn their backs on Milo. How she is slipping this through the cracks with the GOP, because I don't recall them welcoming him back with open arms. And yes, he is a gay man that is a conservative Republican that grooms young boys. Now, her talking about Christian nationalism, that is the rhetoric of the Triple K organization.
Yes. Yes. The fact that they feel comfortable enough to use the word nationalism. There's a whole lot of history.
They're still wearing
nationalism.
They're still wearing white nationalist propaganda merch because "Make America Great Again" is a slogan from the Triple K organization dating back to the 1920s.
I remember a German leader once that had a cropped mustache that used to talk about nationalism. But yeah, that has nothing to do with democracy. White Christianity is the way that the evangelicals are going.
Mm-hmm. And it's amazing that she would talk about anything Christian based, given that we all know that she openly cheats on her husband. And before anybody goes, but Taz, you're poly, maybe she's poly. No, the heartbreak in her husband and the fact that her relationships are classified by affairs, even by herself, that man is holding on because he's happy to be a house husband, basically. She found the greatest grift that she can have with her diminished mental capacity, her smooth brain, and underdeveloped cranium, and missing medulla oblongata. He's going to stay there because right now they're raking in millions. They're raking in hundreds of thousands of dollars. He ain't going nowhere.
Nope.
But she's a cheater and a liar.
And
how is that
making ads with guns?
Because in the Bible, you are not supposed to take up physical arms. You are to arm yourself with the armor of the Lord. You are to have your light trimmed and burning and be on standby and at all times ready for the return of the bridegroom. At no point are you supposed to take up arms and wage war or intimidate another. I wish they would read their own good book for once. Just once.
Well,
You ain't got to do it every time.
Yeah,
just
but
once.
they obviously can't read the Second Amendment either, because we talked about this before, where you're taking up arms against an enemy, not domestic, not taking on against each other and creating a civil war.
Well regulated. The only weekend warriors I see belong to the Army Reserve. Like, where are their clusters? Where are their cells of individuals that are training themselves in the event that our borders are breached, that we have a war on U.S. soil?
They're out in the woods somewhere, forming the good old boys.
The United States, literally, in regards to other nations across the globe, is a teenager. And think about the mindset of a teenager. They're invincible. They think they know it all when all they've really suffered, for the most part. I'm not talking about the extreme cases where people have really been through some traumatic things, speaking generally here. Some minor inconveniences, some punishments, some suspensions, some Saturday schools, some detentions. But they think that they have it all figured out because they have video games and internet and access to the school library, because they don't go to the neighborhood library or the city library, depending on where you're at, or the county library. So the United States is one nation that in modern times, with modernized weapons, has not had a war on its soil. So you have these people fantasizing about war and what they would do in war and cosplaying it. Just like the story that I gave y'all regarding the gentleman out of Columbus, Ohio, who finagled his way over into the Ukrainian war, couldn't pass the basic entry level to be admitted into the army over there. And then he fled because he realized, oh, these are real bullets. I could actually die.
Trust me, if anyone came on our soil and went after Marjorie Taylor Greene, full of weapons, she would tuck her tail and run. She is not standing to fight.
Let me explain something to y'all. If the phenomenon of the 1980s happened again, where everybody was claiming that they were having alien sightings and abductions, if an alien comes to my door, first of all, we're going to sit down, we're going to have a good meal and a nice little drinky drink. Maybe I'll even share my good pomegranate tea with them. Okay. Yes. I'll brew them up and strain them up some tea. And I'm going to explain to them, you want our leader? That is Donald J. Trump Sr. And the second in command, it's a three-way tie. Just bear with, work with me here.
Only a
Marjorie
three-way
Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, and Mitch McConnell. You got to get them all together, okay? Because if you leave any of them, then they're going to take power. And we have no problem with y'all being in power, okay? Y'all think I'm playing? I will tell the aliens to go to Mar-a-Lago and round them all up. And y'all just confirm my story. Just confirm my story. I will go live with the alien and be like, y'all, this is our leader.
Follow
right?
the trail of the tanning oil.
Yeah, y'all just say, yes, that's our leader. Are we in agreement that is the plan?
I'm going with ET though, because ET likes Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, but ET ain't gonna mess up.
No.
ET gonna try to befriend.
He's not getting hit by any
the heart of Trump.
No, he's not
trying to turn light in the heart of Trump, and we ain't got time for that. Okay, see in the comments, we're in agreement. Should the aliens, if the aliens come and visit any of us, that is our story, okay? And don't be like on the first 48. Don't let them get you no sweet tea, no chicken, no red beans and rice, and then you be like, well, really, it's Joe Biden. No, yes, we got problems with Joe Biden. Right. When the Amazons come down, we can give Joe Biden to the Amazons, and then Dr. Jill Biden can take over. Okay, because that's really who we wanted.
We got too many that have to go ahead of Joe.
Yeah, my thing is, let's be real. How many of y'all were like me that were like, okay, if Joe Biden gets elected, maybe this will be like a Roosevelt presidency where like Eleanor was really, doing everything and running it. Weren't y'all secretly hoping that Dr. Jill Biden was going to be in there, like negotiating everything and getting everything together? Like she was just going to slip Joe a little something, something so he could just sleep during the day, like just give him Benadryl at breakfast. It was just me? Okay, it was just me.
Well, she is a teacher, so she could have taught a lot.
That's why I said she could have slipped him a Benadryl.
Mm-hmm.
Those that work with kids, if you know, you know.
And someone would have slipped in Senator Warren in there.
And little Bernie. Oh, Brittany thought that too. I see. See, Brittany, we here. See, I really did. I was like, this gonna be a Roosevelt presidency, and then I was like, oh, he awake and making decisions.
Look, if the aliens come down to take anybody, they're gonna need bring a spare saucer to load that up because it's gonna get pretty full quick.
Yeah, because I'm taking them to Mitch McConnell's house. I know where he lives.
I sent him Mo Brooks. I sent him.
I'm taking them.
Giuliani.
No, I'm taking them to Mitch McConnell's house. I know where he lived. I'm not gonna give them directions. I don't want them to get lost. I'm taking them there.
That's where Cameron hangs out.
Actually, he does for real.
That's supposed to be a diverse house. Look at his wife and look at Cameron.
I have some people in my life that from their property, you can see his property. And the last time I went for a little get together, because, haven't seen each other since before COVID.
And spy session.
You don't even need that. Like, you could just stand there like this. Trust me, I don't even like the rain. I don't even like the rain. But I was trying so hard to get footage of Cameron going to visit Mitch.
Oh.
But I had to go to the bathroom. When I came out, my friend was like, oh, you missed him. Didn't I tell you the assignment? Why didn't you get it?
He's quick.
But I did get a chance to see Booker, who is going to overtake Rand Paul. So, yay.
Good. Yeah. Someone needs to go knock out Herschel Walker, though, down in Georgia.
We're going to leave that to the good Reverend.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Do I have... Okay, got it. From Brown's Digest, and y'all do not know how much it pained me to have to type in Brown's Digest to get this for y'all. I love y'all because I'm a diehard Bengals fan, and we believe if it's brown, flush it down. We don't touch nothing Cleveland. And to my godmother, if you were watching this, I still love you. You from a dirty ass city, but I love you.
And also to those, those LeBron fans.
Yeah, y'all portion of the river did catch on fire, but I digress. Coming from Brown's Digest, oh Jesus, please forgive me, Anthony. No, I can't stand you either, Anthony Munoz. I don't care if you're stupid, but Rudy, Akili, Boomer, hey Norman Julius, forgive me for this one. NFL investigation has concluded on Deshaun Watson. Yes,
Oosh. Yeah.
Woohoo! Never mind. My thoughts went elsewhere.
Moment.
Has concluded on Deshaun Watson's suspension.
The jungle got you around.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna get through this. Hold on. Take two. NFL investigation has concluded on Deshaun Watson's suspension decision before long. Why did they type it like that? Anywho, the NFL has finished up their investigation into 24 lawsuits that Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson faces. A decision on a potential suspension is expected soon. Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns will soon know if the quarterback will be suspended during the upcoming season. Not only will they know if he will be, but the duration will also be known as well. From the very beginning, we've shared everything with the NFL. No, y'all haven't. We've shared everything with law enforcement. No, y'all haven't. Both the police and the district attorney's office, no, you haven't, said Rusty Hardin, attorney of Watson. They've had everything from the beginning. No, they haven't. The league will have an independent arbitrator decide on a suspension or not. Said arbitrator will be able to rule against a suspension, and that will be the end of it. Otherwise, the league has final say. And we got one more. I'm sorry, two more regarding this. And before y'all ask, no, I do not qualify to be an NFL arbitrator. I looked because I was gonna sign up. Like, just make me the arbitrator, okay? I can be impartial.
Bengals.
From the same whedsite. Wait a minute, hold on. Sorry. Nope. Sorry, I clicked on the same article twice. Wait a minute. Here we go. Whew.
Boo.
Okay. Oops. From profootballtalk.nbcsports.com. Deshaun Watson breaks silence via social media. The world first became aware of the initial lawsuit filed against then Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson after he disclosed the situation on social media in March 2021. Now, after more than 2 months of silence following the press conference officially announcing the trade that sent him to Cleveland, Watson has spoken with another social media post. Via Kimberly Martin of ESPN.com, Watson quotes these lyrics on his Instagram story. See, the blogs can't break me down. See, I'm the voice. I don't reply. But the rumors y'all done heard, I'ma humbly deny, yeah. That really doesn't sound like cooperating with authorities, does it? But hold on. It gets better.
That's why the ladies keep coming out.
Because y'all know, I'm not nosy in my personal life. But when it comes to like history in the making, I'm very nosy, okay? Now, from LarryBrownSports.com. Deshaun Watson responds to new report via Instagram posting. Of course he does. And what gets me, Deshaun Watson, you ugly as shit. You could have just paid a sex worker. Damn. Anywho, Deshaun Watson responded on Instagram Tuesday to a report containing details and allegations regarding his behavior with masseuses. The New York Times published an investigation into Watson and said the Cleveland Browns quarterback received massages from at least 66 massage therapists over a 17-month period. I've had the same massage therapist for 12 years now. How you get 66? Where are you finding them at?
You're not in the NFL.
The greedy, ugly bastard. One of the women who spoke with the Times accused Watson of being persistent in his request for sexual acts during their massage. The report was published at a time when 2 or more women have filed lawsuits against Watson, bringing the total to 24 lawsuits. Watson made his Twitter account private. He posted a reply on his Instagram story that included some song lyrics that seemed to represent his feelings. Same song lyrics that I just read to you. He's a douche canoodle and a freaking...
The Texans, he was using the Texans-funded hotel.
But 66...
He wanted somebody different every time. He was an addict.
But do you know, on average, how many there are per state, per cap? Like, you're importing massage therapists at this point.
Mm-hmm. That's where the money's going. Toss some money.
60. Mm-hmm. That's why he looked like the spawn of the devil. He just missing one more 6. Jesus, Murray, Joseph, and a Billy Goat.
Yeah. The fact that he was using team, what was it, hotel membership. Flying them in, using social media. I mean, he was literally he was combing social media for people's, whoever is a masseuse. And here's flaunting his name and money, and then bringing him in, only to say, surprise, look, no towel.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Many people have emailed and messaged me like, hey, is this normal behavior for someone to contact someone on social media themselves? No, it's not. As a former model and someone who started off in PR to get the capital to start their business, I was the person that, like, if my client was like, hey, I think this person is a really dope hairstylist or makeup artist, or I heard that they're really great, but the only way to contact them is on Instagram, because a lot of small businesses use social media before they have the funds or they have the clientele for word of mouth or the funds to have a standalone website. Completely understandable. They would have me reach out, especially since I'm a woman and if the person is a woman or non-binary, because it's easier. I can negotiate the terms, I can be there at the time, blah blah blah. It's very rare for a celebrity or any person in any sense of power to just be up in somebody's DMs unless they're trying to have a sneaky link.
Right.
Like, we infamously know about Drake sneaking
Yeah.
into people's DMs because he's trying to hook up.
Right.
He's not doing business deals. Like, if he wanted to do business with you, trust me, his PR agent, his marketing person, his manager, his lawyer,
Right.
that's who's going to reach out to you.
Right.
And the fact that, why are you searching for, at your level, at your big old age, why are you searching for a massage therapist on social media?
Right.
Because I do not give a damn what you look like.
But they've interviewed athletes, current and former. We know people like Tom Brady have the one they've been using forever. Most of these athletes have said, whether the team has recommended somebody or they found someone on their own, they stick with that person. Like, they know them so well. Why would you go through one a week or one every month or whatever the number was, when the whole point is this is supposed to help you as an athlete, not as a pervert?
Yep, just like my massage therapist, fortunately, it's someone that I've known for years that just happened to go get the training, get licensed, all these
Right.
different things. I do not switch massage therapists, even though
Right.
I move around. I can be nomadic at times. Chris will tell you, I'll get a wild hair up my booty, and I'm like, Chris, I'm just gonna move to such and such, and he's like, who do you know
And
there?
I'll be
Nobody.
like, yep, I know you're not in Cleveland.
Yeah. I'm like, he's like, who do you know there? And I'm like, nobody. And he's like, FaceTime me when you get there and give me your address so I know you're safe. Okay. But because of my health issues and allergies, I cannot bounce around from massage therapist to massage therapist because, one, there are products that they use that could send me into anaphylactic shock. It's happened once with one massage therapist that I was like, oh, I'll give them a try. And even though I gave them my laundry list of what you can't use on me, they thought that I was just being picky and bougie. And no, I can be picky and bougie, but when it comes to my health, I'm giving you the real. But 60, baby, no. And no shade, no disrespect to any up and coming massage therapists that are like, nope, I can't work at this corporation, or I'm working at this chain massage therapy place, but I really want to get my own thing going and you're using social media to do it. I'm not shaming you or downing you. Like I said, get your hustle on as you can. My thing is, I personally would not be shopping for someone on social media if I'm making millions of dollars.
I've seen
That's
him
what
in
you have a personal
interviews.
assistant for.
I've watched him in interviews, one-on-ones. He reminds me of somebody who's always trying to sell the same used car and just can't get a buyer. He's just not convincing. Like, there's something behind this guy that he doesn't necessarily want to reveal. And I think he was thinking that all this stuff, all this dirt could be done behind the scenes. And no one's going to get me. I'm Deshaun. I'm the QB1.
Yep.
That's what you get. They thought that he was, Mr. Goody Goody out of Clemson. People don't know who athletes are outside off the field. I mean, you only see them playing the game that they play.
And my thing is, if you have a decent or a really good athlete in your family, and if they have not already gone off to college, either go with them or buy them a GoPro when they go do these college tours.
Mhm.
That will tell you why so many pro athletes have the mindset that they do. This will show you why so much sexual assault is covered up on high-ranking college campuses.
Right.
The NFL draft and recruitment for schools from high school to college is they literally take the playbook from the slave market, and that is what they use. They do not care about your integrity. They want you to be as animalistic as possible so you can tap into that side of you and be emotionless so you can go out and make them more money. Because the better the schools are, the more they get from boosters, aka sponsors, the more they get from ticket sales, concession sales, merch sales. The
Wasn't it
more
the
they get
movie?
from young ladies whose parents will pay out of pocket, take out loans, leverage their mortgages, take out HELOCs. If you don't know what a HELOC is, it's a home equity line of credit, which can be reused and repaid multiple times over a period of time, to send these girls to school to either get knocked up or marry these athletes with potential. The only difference between these, I don't want to say Big Ten schools because Big Ten is a, anywho, but all these top tier schools and BYU is that the young ladies going to BYU tell you that they have no intention of graduating. They're there to get a husband.
And they're going on a mission.
And so are these young ladies because in recruitment weekends, they're throwing girls at them. Like today, one of my nephews who's being recruited all over the place had a recruitment camp at a college that's closer to me.
Cincy Bearcats.
My oldest daughter went with him. No, it's in Kentucky. My oldest daughter went with him. Why? If anybody on this earth is like me, it's like my daughters. Y'all, they are evil. And yes, I'm calling myself evil because I can be evil. And they are unwavering. They are protective as all get out. And that goes for y'all to be leaving rude comments to me. I usually find out about the rude comments because one of my daughters done found it. And they always call me and go, they know you got daughters, right? And we hit people. Y'all better quit playing. Y'all better quit playing. And my daughters now are coast to coast. Don't play with it. You'll be in your local grocery store and you'll see this face with a different complexion and a different height whooping your ass. Y'all better quit playing. That's the only difference between us. Where there's like
there's
3 inches that differentiate.
You got
there's
2 of them.
Yeah,
remember,
and
there's not 1, there's 2.
But there's 3 inches that differentiate us. That's it. Like we're teeny tiny stair steps. Okay, you could skip and jump over all 3 of us, but we are mighty. Okay, just call us Mighty Mouse. Okay, times 3. But come on. But yeah, she went with him to make sure that because he's still in high school. There's still like in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, they can recruit you for high school while you're in elementary school or junior high school. They can recruit you for college soon as you walk through the doors. Like your first day of school, if they already know what you're working with, they can come down and start the recruitment process.
Right. Come join the GOP.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, yeah, it is an auction block. And for those that think that I'm joking, they televise it. They televise these camps. Watch it. Look at how they're scored. Look at what they're looking at. This isn't the Miss America pageant. They don't even ask these gentlemen questions.
Wow.
There have been NFL players that could not read and write, but came out of college.
Yeah. One used to play for my team back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Couldn't read and write.
Think about it. They've gone through Pee-wee, junior high, high school, and this is before No Child Left Behind. So you can't even blame George Bush for this one, which pains me to admit, but it's the truth. And then on to college and then the NFL. Can't read or write. There's a reason why so many NFL players end up homeless or have to take jobs where they're the spokesperson of your local small town mattress factory, or you see them at the local used car dealership. because they can't even do basic math. And these accountants and accounting firms and managers and attorneys know this and just steal all of their money. And then before you go, well, Taz, why don't they sue? They don't know that they can. And there's no one around them that are like, oh, this is illegal, because the people around them didn't care about them getting an education. They just wanted a piece of the pie.
Yeah, it's the name. It's kind of like the NIL, the name likeness money. You're using that former athlete to sell cars or whatever. You got them in front of a camera. They get paid. That's all they do. They have no business interactions. They have no knowledge of business. Nothing. It's their name. And until people get burned out, and until people would be like, didn't that guy play like 15 years ago? Who cares? Once he becomes a has-been, then they're out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a short window of opportunity from the time they leave the game to still make money off their name. That's it. Because they had no schooling, nothing that's going to continue them. They may get, if they had any disability at all from playing, who knows what that would be.
And the saddest that I've seen, that I've physically seen and witnessed with my own eyes, are student athletes in high school that are so hyped up and believe that they're going to make it.
Uh-huh.
And they just get pushed through, and they get off to college and they're injured.
Yep, and that's the end of the road.
And then their scholarship is revoked because they don't have the grades. The school knows that they're just pushing them through with certain professors.
But they thought they're going to the NFL.
Right. And the school, it knows the professors to handpick for them, that they don't even have to show it for class. Right. I had some classes with people like that, where they would show up just on project day, not even exam day.
Bearcats.
And even I was propositioned to take certain tests for people. And I'm like, it ain't enough money in this world. And at this time, I had a young child that looked up to certain people. And I was like, I can't do this. He's looking up to you. You need to, when I show up for an exam and I got to bring him to class, you better be in here too, because I'm not going to break his heart and tell him you full of shit. And then the next heartbreaking thing is for somebody to get all the way to the NFL, get injured. They have nothing to fall back on. Nope. Nothing.
Nope. They skated all the way there, and they blow, whether it's ACL, whatever it may be. Some of them come back, some don't. Some just don't, because it all comes down to where you were drafted, who you're with. That window closes quick. If you don't get a second opportunity, whether it's with the same team or not, you might find yourself recovering and waking up in Canada and playing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that window of opportunity can shut quick depending on a lot of different factors. So, yeah, we see people come back from injuries. Guess what? They're drafted well. They got a lot of money invested in them. If you're down in the 5th round and you blow out your knee, that might be it. Yeah. So.
But as always, thank you all for joining. Your final thoughts on the night, Chris?
Yes, everybody, if you have a way and means tomorrow evening, please check out your TV. It'll be on every channel except that one that is posing as a news
purposes only,
as an entertainment channel. It will not be shown there, which no one's surprised because they're probably going to be talked about. But yeah, if you have an opportunity, check it out. See how that goes. I'm interested in keeping hope alive and seeing what happens. But that's, and
I'll be posting the preliminary calendar shortly after we end this broadcast on my Instagram page. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, just click the link in the bio. Actually, I think there's an Instagram icon. Just click on that, and it'll take you right.
And just a heads up on MSNBC, for those that enjoy watching MSNBC, they're going to have the crew there that usually handles everything else. So you'll see Rachel Maddow and all of them there. That should be entertaining. So looking forward to it.
Don't forget tomorrow is the Men's Health Monthly Panel. So I will update you all regarding January 6th on Friday, along with a few other stories, but we will still have our good old Friday night Freeform Fridays party. But as always, thank you for joining me. And each one reach one and each one teach one. But pay attention to this closing because I think a lot of people forgot about this historic moment.
Why don't I have any gay guests on my show? Wait, I'm sorry. Why don't I have any gay guests on my show? Well, there are a lot of gay guests who really don't like to talk about their sexual preference, so we don't know whether they're gay or not. You know? Now, this ain't Merv. You didn't think I'd run from this, did you? This ain't Johnny. I ain't gonna run from it. I'm gonna deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Who would you like me to have on my show that's gay that maybe I haven't had? Who? I don't know Gus Van Sant, but I know Elton John. He's been here and he's rocked the house. Okay? Okay? What? When Harvey has something I'm interested in, I'll bring him on the show. But this is my show, okay? This is my show. This is my show. You understand? This is my show. This is my show, man. You think I haven't had somebody on the show because they're gay? What's wrong with you, man? I'm black. I'm black, man. I'm black, man. I'm the biggest minority you know about. I don't want to hear that gay trash, man. I got gay friends I've had on the show. Because you don't know them or it ain't who you want on the show, you got a problem with it. If you want to book it, get yourself a show. Now sit down, so I can do the show. You've had your say and I've had mine.